This is going to be a video on how to set the DK1 Gopher and mole trap. So this is the closed position. These are the jaws. This thing is called the tail. This is the flat metal trigger where when this thing is in the ground, the gopher is going to walk between the jaws. So when it's set the right way, these jaws are going to be open, not closed, and the gopher will walk between the jaws, and it will go through there. It will either hit this with its head, which will set off the trap that will crush him, or it will push dirt, and as it's pushing dirt, hopefully it will push dirt far enough into there where this will clamp down on him. Trap handle, spring latch. And so right now, being in the locked position, they say wear gloves with this. So what we have is we've got this, what is this? This is the spring latch and the handle. We need to, it's in the locked position now. This is how it comes when you buy it. Move this out of the way. If you're not strong, if you don't have good hand strength, this is probably going to be a very difficult trap for you to do. 2 fingers here, take this piece here, a lot of strength on there, a good grip on here, pull this forward a little bit to get it out of the way, and turn this thing, turn it with the right hand, don't turn the left, you never turn this thing, you always hold the left side and you turn with the right. Now we have the jaws opened. That way, turn it to the right. Turn it to the left, counterclockwise. Jaws open, we're at our first step now. When the spring latch is open, this piece is going to be right over here on this side of the spring. Yikes. Okay, so remember I was telling you how some guy did the video wrong? He took this tail and he put it over the top. I don't know how the heck he was able to do it. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to break it. He took the tail and that's what he did. Oh no, that's the right way to do it now. Okay, so he took the tail and he put it in like this, and somehow he jammed it down and got it over the spring, and then he pushed this trap piece on. That's not how you do it. I want you to see this there's a little hook over here. See this hook? This is the critical part right now. That hook needs to go over the top of the jaw. This is the jaw. This hook goes over the top of the jaw. This long tail piece goes under the jaw. That little piece goes over the top, and the big piece goes under. Little piece goes, and if the jaws are closed, you're not going to be able to do that. So you want the jaws wide open. This piece has to be right over here. This goes over the top and under, and I still don't have the gloves on. And then what I'm going to do is this thing has to bend over this way. That's why this thing is crazy. This thing has got to bend over this way, and it's going to go over the top of the spring, and then we're going to slide this piece on. Do I want to do that with the right hand? I don't know. Maybe it might be easier for me to do that with the right hand. If you're left-handed, it might be, I've got more strength with my right hand. So you can see what I'm doing now. I've got the little piece over the top. I've got the big piece of this tail under. And for me, since I'm right-handed, and I'm trying to see what the heck I'm doing and get this on video, okay. Depending on how sensitive you want it, if you leave it really close to the edge, it's going to trigger really easily. If you have it up here, not going to trigger as easily. They recommend, at least until you get everything set up, that you keep this thing up here. And then the final part is where we're going to wind this thing up. If this video helps you, please do a thumbs up, a subscribe, a like, share, leave a comment if you want to. I'm going to leave an affiliate link in the video description, so if you click on that, you can buy this from Amazon. I think this is like $10 or something. When you get this thing set, which it's not set yet, you will take this and you will make sure you don't have to clean out the hole a lot, but you need to have it cleaned out enough so that these jaws will be able to get into the hole. I see some people, they just dig on an angle and position these. I have had zero luck with that. What I end up with is the gopher pushing the dirt. Others might dig it a little bit more and clean out the hole so that it goes in a little further. Other people, especially with moles, say they have better success turning it this way, turning it upside down, setting, of course, obviously the trap would be, or the trip trap, trigger trap, whatever that is, would be turned facing downward, and they get set off, the trap sets off, and poof, bye-bye, bye-bye. Here we go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to set the trap like it was when we first got it in the closed position. So we're going to have this piece set exactly like it was in the closed position. You want to make sure you do not touch the trip, because the trip will trigger the trap, and you don't want that. So until you figure out how to do this, get this thing out of the way, get it up. It's only going to go so far. It's not going any further up there. So that's it. Now, we're going to do what we did before. We're going to have the two fingers here, and that's where it gets tricky, because you got to be careful that you don't touch the trip. You want that trip out of the way. Right now, it will, I think it will spring. I could be wrong. You can walk this thing up a little bit if you want. Get it out of the way. You're going to take the two fingers and you're going to put it under here. Now, what a lot of people do is in the videos, they take this thing and they spin this thing around. They spin the spring, and that's a good way to break this thing. You don't want to spring, you don't want to spin the spring. You want to spin this thing. You can see what's going on here now. Remember, originally, I pulled this piece away. At the start of the video, I pulled this piece up and I turned it to the left, counterclockwise. Now we're going to do the same thing. This is my first time doing this, but we're going to do the same thing. Kind of nervous here. Heart's pounding, getting a little sweaty. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. And we are going to... This has got some serious zing-a-ling-a-linga. This has got some power on it, man. And so you're going to want to hold this thing. Now remember, when I first did this, taking it apart, I was a little cautious, a little worried about what was going to happen, because there's a lot of tension in this spring. And there is a lot of tension in the spring again. So before we went counterclockwise, we went to the left. Now we're going to go clockwise to the right. And wow, this really requires some strength. This requires a lot of strength, especially because I've never done this before. That's a little better. Okay, now I'm going to be focusing on what I'm doing instead of what's going on the camera. So originally, when we unlocked this thing, we went counterclockwise. This time we're going to keep the two fingers over here. Again, I've got this thing pushed up really far, so I shouldn't be able to trigger it off, but you never know, you know. So two fingers over here. You do not want to turn the spring, because you're going to break the spring. Or over time, you'll probably damage this thing. So you want to hold this, and you want to spiral this to the right. So I'm going to rest my hand over here. I'm going to hold the thumb over here. Yeah, this really requires a lot. See, what I'm doing is I'm trying to turn this, and that's not good. You really need to have your... There we go. I've got my hand under here, so I have some ability to turn this thing now. Wow, oh my God, this is unbelievable how much force is required on this thing. What I just did off camera is originally this was facing to the left. I turned it to the right so that I've got a little bit more room. Before it was in my way, now I've got a little bit more room. But still, you've got to be able to hold this thing and literally spin this whole thing around. And that's the problem, is it doesn't want to, you don't have any leverage. You have nothing to hold on to. I got it. I see what I have to do. I didn't get it, but I see what I have to do. Massive amount of hand strength. Seriously, if you're somebody who's really petite or somebody who has not a lot of muscle, I don't have a lot of muscle here, but if you don't have a lot of it, this is probably not the trap to be using. I just went halfway through with the camera off just to see what is required, and it's incredible the amount of strength that you need. So we're going to be turning this thing clockwise. We're going to be getting it right behind this hook like it was when we first got it in shipping position. And this is the hard part, is for me, I want to keep my hand over here, and then you can't. You've got to have your hand on here. This is where it gets hard now. The fingers over there, you need the fingers over there on the bottom for the strength, and then you take this thing. See, right now, Now I'm struggling. Wow. And hook it underneath there. There it is, people. Whoa. Unbelievable. If I'll tell you, if the Gopher gets into this trap and touches this thing, it's never going to survive. You saw the amount of strength. Yes, I could cut this down to a 5-second video, but you wouldn't see what I'm going through, and that's probably what you're going to be going through. And so you can't set it for they do talk about how you can set this with doing half of a winding. I don't know how that's done. I did not understand that. Let me show you some stuff before we finish the video. You see the tail is going underneath the jaw. This is the tail. The tail goes into the hole over there. The tail goes under the jaw and that little hook. This piece over here. That piece over there goes on the top. That little hook goes on the top. This tail does not go over the jaw. It goes under the jaw. It goes on top of the spring. You slide this up, slide it up as far as you need to so it's not going to flip. You take this thing and hold your 2 fingers over here. I had a much harder time wearing gloves. I was not able to function with gloves. Maybe gloves will be better for you. Like with most of these other traps, you have a safety. This thing doesn't really have a safety. And I don't want to get in there and slide this thing down. What you need to do is hold this piece down. This is a dangerous trap. There's no doubt. This is a dangerous trap. What I want to do is go in here and slide this thing downward, but I'm scared that if I slide too far, this whole thing's going to spring, and I don't know how much of this goes flying around. I don't know. But you take this piece here, and you hold it down, and you adjust this thing. Very dangerous now. Oh, okay, so you heard it. You heard it sliding down the spring. I'm not going to go any further. I think most pros would probably go right to the tip, but what you're hoping for is that he goes in here far enough that when he presses the thing while he's pushing the dirt in, you're hoping that he goes all the way back. Usually my experience is they push dirt right to the trap and that's it. They don't even go out and into the trap. I mean into the hole. And this is going to be the end of the video. I'm going to set it off. I'm not going to show you over and over how to do that. I think you can play it back. What I would suggest is if it went too fast, click on the little wagon wheel, the setting wheel in YouTube, play it slow, slow down the thing, watch what I'm doing. We have Karen the Gopher. Here's Karen the Gopher, and she's going to walk in here. She's going to push dirt, and obviously this thing has to be set way, way back. Let me look at the video. Let me zoom in a little further. And she's going to hit this trigger, the trigger that's going to trip the trap. That's it. The trigger that's going to trip the trap. She goes in here, and the jaws are still fine. Nothing's going to happen until she presses on the trigger. Oh boy, here we go. I know this is going to jump. I just hope I don't break my camera. I don't know how far up this is going to jump. I could hold this, but I don't know how much I want to hold this. I'm kind of freaking out right now. Come on, Karen. Here we go, Karen. Oh boy. Yeah, it's definitely going to have to be further back because you can see how much force I'm doing. There's no way that, because it gets stuck on the bottom of the. So this is going to have to be set much further back on this thing, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Oh boy, yikes, yikes! Now I'm freaking out. Here we go, Karen. And I know I've got this thing turned. This thing should be turned this way. So it lines up. Oh, my God. Here we go, Karen. Make a fool of yourself. Pushes dirt. 1, 2, 3, go. That's tight. No gopher is going to have that much force. Come on. Trigger. Trigger. Ah! Look at that. It's not going off. It's stuck. It's stuck around the spring. See how much force I'm doing? No gopher is going to need that much force, or going to use that much force on a thing. Here we go. Let's just do it. Ah! Whoa. Look at that. Goodbye, Karen. Okay, goodbye, Karen. Goodbye, Brad. So once you have your Karen in the trap, and if this is a gopher, it's going to go all the way around, then we're kind of in the same position, I think, that we were before, which is the locked position, but it's activated. So I think what I've got to do is I have to put the 2 fingers under here. We've got this little piece in the way. We wouldn't have that in the way if we had a gopher. We have the little piece in the way. And we're going to start at the beginning like we did before. We're 2 fingers under the bottom, locked position. We go in there and we press this thing to the left and forward, and then we go counterclockwise to the left with the, whatever that name of that thing is. There it is. See it? And we've just come full circle, people. That completes the video on how to set this thing up. This requires a good amount of strength. I think over time you learn how to do it, and it's not a big deal. You learn how to position it. Keep your hands away from this jaw. This thing is brutal. You heard the snap. You heard the force. When you set it, remember that little piece goes over, but it doesn't go that way. It goes over and under. Can we set it really fast? I said I wasn't going to do that. Can we set it really fast and just make another video? The reason it's not working is because I have to get this out of the way. Little piece on the bottom. I was able to do that a lot faster than I did it the first time. Little piece on the bottom, on the top, long piece on the bottom. Clip it over there. There we go. It's just kind of awkward. It probably has to wear in over time. Get that thing over there. Get this piece up over here. Now I'm a little bit more confident with what I'm doing. And I don't know if I'm doing it right because I don't have the room to slide it in like I did last time. There we go. We're in. Now we're in. Remember, I had it to the right. Remember, the jaws are open. The little piece on the top. This thing on the bottom. Get this thing out of the way. Oh, boy. Just the stress of it all. Unbelievable, people. And then this thing kind of rides on the, you can see how it rides on the spring. That's why it was a little awkward. Wow, the hand strength. Unbelievable. It really needs, because everything wants to slip out. Unless you have, I mean, your hand, your wrist and your hand, they're not made to do what I'm trying to do. I wish they had a different handle on here, but obviously they don't. And I guess I'm no better at this than I was the first time. 2 fingers on the bottom. See, this is where I lose it right now. Because you're not supposed to bend this, you're supposed to bend this, or you're supposed to turn this. Oh! Very dangerous trap, very dangerous. It's triggered. Boy, could you hurt yourself with this thing. That's it. Let me let you see what it looks like again. This is the hard part, is turning this. And I'll slow this down for all you sick people that want to watch Karen, the Gopher. Let's try to zoom in on this thing as we finish off our video. Probably like a 20-minute video. I don't care. Put a zillion ads on there to upset everybody. That's definitely close to a trigger. I would not want to have that any less to the edge and try to put this inside a hole, because you're going to have to take this thing out if it doesn't trigger. And I know over here they've got the hole so that you can stake it. Everybody wants to stake things. Do what you need to do. Here we go. It's the Gopher. Now I'm not going to press that hard. I'm just going to act like here's a Gopher. He's over here, and let's see, I'm going to hold this part on the left. Gopher, I'm going to do a light force on the trigger, or the trap, the trigger trap, the trap to trigger the trap, or the plate. Okay, the thing over here. Now he's lightly going to push in, so it's got like about 1/8 of an inch. Now, I see why they say you want to stake it, because if you stake it, then this thing can't slide around when he's doing what he's doing. So I'm going to hold this really tight. He can't slide the trap now. So he goes in here and lightly presses. Here we go. 1, 2. That's still a lot of force. That's a lot of force. That's a lot of force over there. I mean, come on, no Gopher's going to press that hard. He's not going to press that hard. Maybe they're thinking that he's going to push the dirt, and the dirt is going to press up against that thing, and that's when it goes off. So here's the dirt. Slow motion. We're going to do slow motion. Look at that. There's no way. There's no way. That's a lot of force. It's stuck. See how it's stuck? And I'm not going to get in there and slide this up one more spring thing. No way. Look at that. That's a lot of force. No Gopher is going to do that. So you're really going to have to get this adjusted properly on the right spring piece so that it barely needs any. Look at that. It's stuck. It's stuck. I don't know. I'm not putting my finger down there. That's what you would do. You would put your finger over here and you would press down before you wound this. Well, no, I guess you'd have to do it now. Let's just do this. Yeah, this is not going to go. Come on, Karen, get in there. Come on, Karen. Oh, boy. Make sure you click on that affiliate link, people.